Behind his title as the greatest golfer of all time lies a dark secret. What is Jack Nicklaus hiding? We'll get into his dark truth that has remained hidden. What secrets has he been keeping? And how will these truths change the way we view this golfing legend? This will be controversial. Our team found countless articles from Golf.com, NBC Sports, and Golf Monthly. You'll be shocked by what we found. So who exactly is the Golden Bear? 2 years in a row, Nicklaus won the U.S. Amateur Championship while he was a student at Ohio State. At the 1961 U.S. Open, Nicklaus also established an amateur score record of 282. Nicklaus won the following tournaments after turning professional in 1962. The Masters Tournament 6 times, the U.S. Open 4 times, the Professional Golfers Association of America, or PGA Championship 5 times, and the British Open. 6 of his triumphs were at the Australian Open. With 6 appearances and a record 3 individual World Cup victories, Nicklaus was an integral part of the victorious United States World Cup teams. He has competed in 100 majors by 1986, with 45 top 3 finishes. Not only was Nicklaus inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame in 1974, but he was also selected PGA Player of the Year 5 times. From 1990 until his retirement in 2005, he was a member of the Senior PGA Tour, which was subsequently rechristened the Champions Tour. With 73 PGA victories under his belt, he ranks 3rd all-time, behind only Tiger Woods and Sam Snead. He also set a record with 18 wins in the 4 major professional tournaments. Not only did Nicklaus have exceptional innate talent and strength, but he also exhibited extraordinary poise in the face of intense competition. In 1976, Nicklaus began sponsoring the Memorial Tournament at Ohio's Muirfield Village Golf Course, one of many courses that Nicklaus created. A number of his books have been written by him or with him: Golf My Way, 1974, Nicklaus by Design, 2002, and Jack Nicklaus, Memories and Mementos from Golf's Golden Bear, 2007, which was co-authored with David Shedlowski. Nicklaus received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2005. Almost every major golf newspaper and media outlet around the globe recognized Jack as the greatest golfer of the 20th century or the millennium. He was recognized by Sports Illustrated as the individual male athlete of the century, and by ESPN as one of the 10 greatest athletes of the century. Despite his skyrocketing career, lies Jack's downfall. Taking a step back and looking at Nicklaus's career, it's clear that his downturn extends much beyond his recent bad play. The fact that Nicklaus has won so many tournaments, including so many majors, is what really sets him apart as one of the greatest golfers of all time. In 1962, during his rookie year as a professional, he won 2 tournaments and defeated Palmer in the U.S. Open playoff. By 1963, he had won not 1, not 2, but 3 major championships. He won 4 further events in 1964, but no majors. Along with 4 prior event victories, he won the 1965 Masters by a score of 9 strokes. Among the 3 1966 Masters tournaments were the British Open and 2 more. In 1967, he won 4 more professional tournaments in addition to his second U.S. Open title. Even without including his 2 U.S. amateur wins, Nicklaus had won 7 majors, 19 other tournaments, and over $750,000 by the time he was 27 years old. Plus, he appeared to have more of his finest golfing days ahead of him. However, Nicklaus's worst year as a professional was in 1968. 2 victories, Nicklaus's lowest total ever, and a prize money of $155,285 were the worst possible outcome. Not only did he miss the cut at the PGA, but he was also never a serious threat in the 3 main U.S. tournaments. Not only has he won the Masters, the U.S. Open, and the PGA, but he has also failed to make the cut in each of the last 3. Despite his U.S. Open second-place performance, Nicklaus was never a serious contender for the title. 2 tournaments in August, the Western Open in Chicago and the American Golf Classic in Akron, were won by him in consecutive days. However, Nicklaus continued to play like a novice for the remainder of the year, going 75s here and missing the cut there. Among tour players, he likely swapped out putters and drives more often than anybody else. As Nicklaus aged, the demands of maintaining his status as the greatest became overwhelming. The expectations, the constant media attention, and the weight of being a role model for millions began to take their toll. Behind closed doors, he battled with self-doubt, questioning whether he could continue to live up to the legend he had become. But the Golden Bear Challenge doesn't end with his golfing career. Nicklaus achieved legendary status while playing golf. Nicklaus set a record with 18 major titles and 118 other professional tournament victories. However, Nicklaus had less success in business, and he was involved in a major financial corruption incident that led to the imprisonment of 2 executives. But in the end, Nicklaus was successful as a golf course designer, and his business, the Nicklaus Companies, LLC, was booming. This achievement was made possible in part by a consent that Nicklaus Companies received in December 1994, which granted them the non-exclusive right to create trademarks and other intellectual properties using Nicklaus's name and likeness. Howard Milstein, a billionaire financier, became a partner of his in 2007 and contributed $145 million. By 2012, he had also taken over as CEO of the Nicklaus Companies, LLC. After their partnership broke down, Nicklaus decided he wanted to keep designing golf courses on his own and quit the company. Milstein contended that in 2007, Nicklaus sold the names Jack Nicklaus and Golden Bear, along with the exclusive rights to utilize them. To put a halt to him, Milstein filed a lawsuit. Milstein sued Nicklaus in May 2022, seeking a restraining order that would prevent Nicklaus from engaging in any golf design work that would feature the Nicklaus brand without the approval of Nicklaus Companies. The court approved the request in December 2022. For the time being at least, Nicklaus will not be able to associate his name with any projects pertaining to golf. However, Nicklaus won't give up easily. To retaliate, Nicklaus sued in a Florida state court in April 2023, citing violations of federal and state laws pertaining to unfair competition. Nicklaus's assertion that the 2007 sale encompassed the non-exclusive rights to his name and likeness formed the basis of his case. Now, what happens next to this legendary golfer? After years of Nicklaus battling for his name, a Florida arbitrator ruled in favor of the Golden Bear, re-establishing his right to use his name in golf course design. This came after a contentious 2-year period during which he was effectively cut off from the Nicklaus Companies, a group of businesses he founded after his playing days ended. Since 2012, Howard Milstein, a New York financier and real estate developer whose portfolio includes Golf Magazine, True Spec Golf, Miura Golf, and the Nicklaus Design entity, has been in control of Nicklaus Companies, which was started in 2000 but is no longer run by Nicklaus himself. Gradually, Nicklaus had withdrawn almost $175 million from his majority stake in the company. In May of 2022, Nicklaus severed all connections with the Nicklaus Companies because to the ongoing animosity between him and Milstein. In response, Nicklaus was sued by Milstein. During that period, a judge's judgment prevented the 84-year-old former major champion from associating his name with any consulting or design work. He was instead forced to establish himself under the mysterious brand 1JN. Nicklaus may now go on with his decades-long work as a golf course designer using his given name, according to last Wednesday's arbitration ruling that lifted the constraints imposed by the unusual nomenclature. Over the span of more than half a century, Nicklaus has contributed to the design of over 300 golf courses. On the Bahamas' Eleuthera Island, he is currently working on a project called Jack's Bay. The Golden Bear ended on a high note with a press statement revealing the arbitration victory, which was issued by the Nicklaus family office in Juno Beach, Florida. "If you want a golf course designed by Jack Nicklaus," he pointed out, "give me a call." At 84, Jack Nicklaus continues to inspire. His story is a reminder that even the greatest among us are human, with their own battles to fight. We hope you like this video. If you want more of this content, be sure to subscribe to be ahead of the latest in golf.